Hello and welcome. In today's class, we'll be looking at the Armstrong number problem. This question appeared in ISC Computer Science 2019 theory paper. According to the question, we have to design a class ArmNum to check if a given number is an Armstrong number or not. A number is said to be an Armstrong number if the sum of its digits raised to the power of length of the number is equal to the number. So let's try to understand this with some examples. So consider the number 371. 371 has got 3 digits. That's why the length of this number will be 3. Now we are extracting each digit from 371 and we are raising it to the power of its length. That means because its length is 3, so 3 to the power 3 plus 7 to the power 3 plus 1 to the power 3. So the power depends on the length of the number. Now this sum is equal to the original number 371. Similarly, 1634, the length of this number is 4 because it has 4 digits, and we extract the individual digits and raise them to the power 4 and find the sum. It should be equal to the original number. Next is 54,748. The length is 5 because it has 5 digits, and so 5 to the power 5 plus 4 to the power 5 and so on. All these digits raised to the power 5 are added and the result is equal to the original number. So these are the 3 examples of Armstrong numbers. So we have to design a class with the following specification. We have to name the class as ArmNum. We have to take 2 data members, n to store the number, l to store the length of the number. That means the number of digits. ArmNum is a parameterized constructor that will help in initializing n. Int sum power int I. This is a recursive function that will find the sum of each digit raised to the power of the length of the number. And is Armstrong is another function that will check and display whether the given number is an Armstrong number or not. We also need to define a main function to create an object and call the functions accordingly to enable the task. So that's the question. Let's start solving the program. So here I have created a file armnum.java. Let's start with the import statement. Then we create the class. Now it has 2 data members. And then we create the constructor. It's a parameterized constructor where n is initialized with the parameter. And once that's done, we can find the length of this number. So I can write L equals string dot value of, I can pass n as a parameter, dot length. So using just one line of statement, we can find the length of a given number. What we have done here is we have converted the number n into a string and then took its length, and that becomes the length of that number. Next, public int sum power int I. Now this function returns the sum of each digit raised to the power of the length of the number using recursive technique. So when we are writing a recursive function, we need to think of a base case. So here the base case is when only one digit is left. So if I is less than or equal to 9, then we can say that it is a one-digit number, and we can directly return int math.pow I, L. L is the length of the number. Otherwise, we return int of math.pow I modulus 10, means we are extracting the last digit, raised to the power L, plus the sum of the remaining digits. So I can write sum underscore pow I divided by 10. So when we are doing divide by 10, the last digit gets removed and the remaining digits can be passed again to the same function. So this is a recursive function. And the last function is Armstrong. Here we need to check if the original n is equal to the sum of n. Then we print Armstrong number, else we print not an Armstrong number. Now we only need to create main to call all the functions through an object. So we create the main function and we create an object. Now here we need to pass a parameter. We need to pass a number, and that's why before actually creating the object, we need to create scanner object. And we need to ask for the number from the user. And this number is being passed to the constructor. And then through the object, we call the isArmstrong function. And accordingly, it will display the message. Let's save and check the output. So let's try 371. Yes, 371 is an Armstrong number. If I enter 1634, this is also an Armstrong number. And if I enter 54,748, this is also an Armstrong number. And if I give, let's say, 713, this is not an Armstrong number. So that's all in this video. I hope you have understood how to solve the Armstrong number program. Thank you for watching and see you soon in the next class.